football fans from around the world. You are tuned into the Cuda Cast, the official podcast of the Dubai Barracudas. I'm your host, Coach Jerry, and with me as always, the lovely Miss Gracie.
Hello, Barracuda family.
And we're back from Orlando.
It's good to be back.
I know. We're gone for what seemed like a very, very long time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Well, actually it was. What, 8 days?
8 full days in Orlando.
How many nights? How many nights was that?
Oh, no. I don't know. 9.
Played a lot of football, though.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was fun.
6 games each, right? U13s played 6 games, and U15s played 6 games.
Yes.
And we did better than we did in the past. And by the past, I mean the last time we went. We've only been there twice now.
We're speaking we're like pros, right?
Like a true veteran.
Right.
Like true veterans of the Pop Warner Super Bowl. We took a lot of what we learned last year into all aspects of the trip, including our travel.
Right.
Actually, our travel plans were a little jacked up because of the reservations. Right, so the U15s traveled first, and the 13s traveled, and then we came back together. But aside from that, as far as practice and schedules and all that, we were pretty much on point.
Yeah, it was. You could see the difference between, last year being our first year, not knowing sometimes where the practice fields were.
Right.
That creates a bit of a little chaos in the organization, but this year it just seemed to be smooth.
Right.
So
yeah,
that helps.
This time I don't remember running around oh snap, we gotta hurry, we got, you know what I mean? We just we kind of stuck to our itinerary, and everything went well. And we went out there, and I like the new format as well. Last year we played how many games? U15s played 2 games, right, last year, and then we played. No, they played 3 games last year, and we played. U13s played 2 games last year.
It was 5 games total.
And we lost every last one of them.
Yeah, we were 0-5. Ouch.
Kind of crappy. But we did better this year.
Yep.
So we went out there, and it was a tournament style setup, meaning that instead of playing, for example, instead of playing one team per day, we're actually playing 2 teams per day. And we're playing them as halves, not necessarily as 4 quarters. So that meant, you'd show up to the fields, you'd play 1 team for 2, for us. I'm not going to use halves for quarters because that'll get confusing.
Right.
So we'd show up, we played 1 team for a period of time, and then we'd take a break, then we'd play the other team for a period of time. And then the other 2 teams would play each other after we were done playing. Mm-hmm. So in our division of U13s, there was a total of 3 teams, and then U15s, there was
5 teams.
5 teams. And the setup was the same for both. So I think it really worked out. It was good to be able to play both teams at the same the same day.
Right. For U13, in the U13 division, we had Mexico City, Mexico Azul, and then EAFL Falcons.
Right.
And then for the U15 division, we had Mexico City, Mexico Azul, Canada, Querétaro, and then the EAFL Falcons.
Right.
Just to make the description easier.
So we showed up on Sunday, right?
Correct.
We landed Sunday morning?
Yeah, Sunday afternoon.
Afternoon, yeah. Oh, that's right. We landed Sunday afternoon, and less than 24 hours later, we had to play 2 games.
Right.
So we landed, in that afternoon. We did a quick walkthrough at 4 in the afternoon, the kids, and then tried to get them to go to sleep. Actually, we were trying to keep them awake, right, till nighttime. But, knuckleheads are knuckleheads. And
I was surprised to see how energetic they were after a long flight. And then after, the airport,
dealing with all of that,
just checking into the hotel and all that. But I was shocked to see how full of energy they were after lunch.
I know.
They got their second wind, and they were on their own, just playing outside.
Right.
Enjoying the warm Florida weather that we were
Well, yeah, like you said, they were on their own, just throwing the football around. And the resort we stayed at had like these 30-foot or 20-foot basketball hoops, some oversized basketball hoops. They're like trying to throw the football in there. Like, hey, how about y'all run some plays? How about y'all run some routes? But yeah, so we get there. We ran through some practice, and then less than 24 hours later, that very next morning, we had to play two teams. And who had the first game? Us or the 15s? Or we had them at the same time, right?
Yeah, it was 9 o'clock. 9?
Yeah, it was
9 o'clock came because we met for breakfast at 6 a.m.
Yeah, it was.
Because we were jet lagged. It was no big deal to get up that early, right?
Yep. So in the first game, who did the U15s play?
They played
let me rephrase that. In the first day, who did they play? Who did they play the first day?
Mexico City and Canada.
How'd they do?
Mexico City, they won that game 24-0, and then we lost to Canada 20-0. So Canada, if you know anything about the Canadians and their football leagues,
yeah, don't you know?
Yeah.
Sorry.
They're big guys, you know. They can be intimidating, but you know, I think that's where the jet lag set in for our guys.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't think we were intimidated at all.
Nope.
You know, they fall down. They got 11 guys out there. I don't think that played a factor, but I mean, it wears on you. Size, right? I mean, you're fighting bigger guys. Linemen are fighting bigger guys, and it definitely wears on you. So they won one, lost one, and at the U13 level, it was a little bit of the same, right?
Right.
Who did we play first?
Mexico City. We won 19-0, and then we lost to Mexico Azul 34-0.
Ouch.
Again.
Ouch.
Not a better team by that.
Nope.
The scores a little bit deceiving, but
right. Well, like you said, you know, when that jet lag kicks in, so we're playing at 9, and then we're playing again at 10:30 or 11.
Yeah, for us it was 9 and then 10:30, and for U15, I think they had a break in between.
And they played at noon.
Yeah, so
that's right.
That was tough.
So let me ask you this: how many hours difference is there between here and Orlando?
8.
So when we're playing at 10:30, it's the equivalent of being here like at 8:30 at night. No, 6:30 at night.
Yep.
6:30 at night. Huh. I think that had something to do with it because, like you said, you know, and this applies to both teams. We go out there, we win our first game, and then we dropped our second game by a lot.
Right.
Both times.
Right.
I think that a little bit of jet lag had something to do with it. That second game on the first day was pretty critical for both teams. You know, we had less than 24 hours time, and the other guys had like a day.
Right.
So not even 2 days, not even 2 complete days. They had like a day and then a little bit. But then we got some rest. We got a full day's rest. So we played Monday, and then we had Tuesday off. Then we played again Wednesday?
No.
Thursday?
Yes, Thursday.
Dang, it's been a long time. So we had 2 days rest.
We did.
And then Thursday, how did the U15s do?
Let's see here. This is where there was a overtime games for both divisions.
That's right.
U13 won their overtime game.
Yep.
U15 lost their overtime game, both by 1 point margin.
By 1 point.
Yep. So U15s, they fell to Mexico Azul 19-18, whereas U13s beat Mexico City 13-12. Both no-biters, came down to the very, very end. Like I said, they were both exciting games, but came down to the overtime.
Right.
And I remember being there and thinking, "Oh, that's it." No, the refs like, "No, you get an you get right. Overtime."
Yeah.
So that that was exciting.
Yep.
The kids were pumped up, and U13s managed to get the W.
And then it was so that was that Thursday, right?
Yes.
Man, I'm so forgetful. I think I'm getting old.
Getting
old. I'm not old yet, but I'm getting old because I'm starting. Like that was like a week ago?
No.
2 weeks ago. Look. A lot has happened since then, right? We had Christmas in there.
Yeah. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
People Merry that Christmas. Celebrate all our Falcons families.
Merry Christmas. And then on top of that, as soon as we got back, we set up our Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page.
Or on iTunes.
We had to do the.
So we had to celebrate that.
And then, we had to get our stuff put on iTunes. So I had to set up that page. And, this is the first time I've ever put anything on iTunes. So I didn't know what all was involved. Man, it's freaking nuts. Like, my mad props to all those computer nerds out there, Michael Anderson, that like do computer stuff for a living. Because wow. But anyway, so we stumbled through all of that, and that took some time. So that's why it seems like it's I don't know.
You know what? What happened is that because there was 2 games a day, and we took 2 teams, U13, U15.
Right.
We had 4 games a day that we had to
keep track of.
For you had to prepare for 2 games.
Right.
And then you were also special teams on U15. So you kind of had to be involved with that, but you also had to lend support and keep track of 4 games total.
Right. So what we did, if we had a free time slot, we'd go watch and support them. And if they had a free time slot, they'd come and support the 13s. Mm-hmm. But yeah, on paper, I was the special teams coordinator, but, in reality, I couldn't do much during the game because a lot of times we had games at the same time.
Right.
And then if we were supporting them, then we were preparing, for our game. Mm-hmm. During that, halfway through their game, we're starting to warm up for our next game, etc. But so those 2 middle games for the U15s, they lost 1 in overtime. And then who did they play?
They beat Querétaro 12-0.
So they went 1 for 1 that.
Yes.
And then we played the same 2 teams, Azul and Mexico City. Right, there was only 3 teams for us.
Right.
And we beat 1 in overtime. Then we beat Azul. What was that score?
6-0.
6-0. Mm-hmm. Right. So they had beat us. That's the team that beat us 34-0.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
And then we came back and beat them.
The
6-0.
first time we played them, they, not to make any excuse, but
nope.
When you have less than 20 hours to prepare with no practice time, kids have just flown halfway around the world, and because there was 2 games, that second game it was just sloppy for us.
Right.
So they performed a lot better when we met the second time.
That first day, we played, and then we played. Then when it was there, we played the first game, right? Our first day there, that Monday or whatever. Mm-hmm. We played our first game and won. And then we played Azul as our second game, but they were fresh. They hadn't played any games yet.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we came back, we beat them on that Thursday. So we went 2-0 on that Thursday. And then, so at that point, we were 3-1, right?
Right.
So we went into the final day, 3-1. And the U15s, what were they? They were 2-2.
Right.
Yeah, they were 2-2. Mm-hmm. So then we went into our final day of games on
Saturday.
Sábado Gigante for you Univision fans out there, or Tele, whatever. I'm still a little bit jet lagged, I think.
It's been 2 weeks. Wake up, snap out of it.
I know. I need to
have some coffee.
I should have gotten some coffee, but
and throughout the week, it was, like you said earlier, it was a long trip. It was 8 days of football, and what the coaches tell our players is that you're there to play football. Yes, you're at Disney World. It can be distracting. Yeah. You see, we're staying at a resort.
Right.
There's a swimming pool. There's all you can drink, fountain drinks, and there's a lot of distractions. But our primary purpose was to go there and play some good football.
Right.
And so throughout the week when we were not having games, we were on the fields.
Right.
We were the last teams to leave.
Mm-hmm. There was a couple times we practiced and they were like, you guys didn't sign up for this field. And we were like, and this was the truth. The marshal, the field marshal had come up to me earlier the previous day, but yesterday, today, it's all the same. He had come up to me the previous day and says, hey, you guys can practice on such and such field. So then the following day, we went to such and such field. And of course, proceeded to get kicked off. But we were like, hey, man, we came all the way from the UAE to come play. And, the marshal yesterday told us to practice. Yeah, the field marshal or whatever he was. I think that's what his name tag said. I think it said field marshal. But that's like parade stuff or something. But anyways. Important. So they were like, oh, y'all came all the way from the UAE. All right, take your time. You can use the field as long as you want. We stayed out there like
4 hours.
4 hours. Kids all hungry. Coaches all hungry. Everyone all freaking sunburnt.
And it was hot. It was unusually warm. I think they had record high temperatures for that time of year. And it felt a little warmer than Dubai,
but to be honest. You contrast that to last year. And it was just cold, right? And it rained on us. And we were all unprepared.
Right.
But so that helped. We went into our final game of final day of games on that Saturday, and we were at that time tied for first. I think we were 3-1, and Azul was 3-1 as well. And our tiebreaker was 1-1 because they beat us once and we beat them once. And they were actually ranked higher than us because they beat us by more than we beat them. Right, points for, points against. They beat us 34-0. We beat them 6-0.
Right.
So they had to. So basically, we had to beat them to finish in first place. So then we played
Mexico City,
and we dropped it. It was a trap game. We beat them twice already,
right?
And we went in there. It's a trap game. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
We had one. Huge penalty called against us.
Right.
Block in the back after Jason Cobb had scored a touchdown.
Right.
And so that
changed, shifted the momentum.
Exactly.
And then they had an interception, right?
Yes. So then
that sealed it.
Came down to the last again.
Right.
The last few seconds of the game. So and we're trying. We could have still been in it.
So, actually, that game we lost. What was the score on that game?
6-0.
6-0.
6-0.
And we were like on the...
We had scored. It got called back. And we're still in the red zone,
like
right? 3-yard line, 2-yard line?
2-yard line, something like that.
And miscommunication in the huddle.
Hey, and that defense, I give it up to the defense.
Right.
They stepped up and they got that stop.
Yeah, they took advantage of our, disorganized...
Yep. A broken play is what it was.
Broken play, yeah. So
we had some people block left and some people block right.
Yeah.
And defenders just went, hey, look, everything's wide open. So, they stuffed us. So we dropped that one. However, we were still, we still had a chance because they had also beat Azul.
Right.
Yep. So they beat Azul. So we ended up having the same record as Azul. So the tiebreaker was that final game.
Yep, you have to win.
So we have to win that final game to finish in first, and we were winning. God, we were winning.
Can we just skip over this part?
We were winning with like 8 seconds left, and then they chunked the ball. Pretty much a Hail Mary. The kid catches it and promptly runs to the sideline and just sprints down the sideline and scores. So now time has expired. They're down by 1. Right. So we're thinking we're gonna, we set up our defense to, to stop the run. So in Pop Warner, a kick is worth 2 points and a run is worth 1 point. So they do that to try and encourage teams to kick. So time's expired. We set up our defense. And then they go out there and they set up in kick formation. And we had a couple guys shooting the gaps. We kind of were there. And they kick it.
And it's good. And silence.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. So we didn't win. And we came in second place. Right. So, it was a heartbreaker for us. For the U13s, really, really tough. Our kids went out there. They fought hard. But man, what can you do?
It's tough to lose any game.
Sometimes I'd rather lose by 100.
Yeah,
I'd rather lose by 100.
That's my point. To lose,
and that's just me personally. I'd rather lose by 100 than lose by 1 as time expires.
Yeah. It sucks to lose. It sucks to lose even the way we did. So, you know what? Our kids, our U13 kids that represented the UAE, big hearts.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know, it takes a lot of sportsmanship to, you know, to go over to the opposing team and congratulate them after losing in such fashion. So, not to say that we were not hurt by the loss, but it was like a rite of passage to lose that way, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, it's a heartbreaker. You got to experience that, you know, every now and again.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like you said, I mean, we've there's a Mexican team, you know, we've established a rapport with all their coaches at the U15 and at the U13 level. So we're all buddies, you know, we're all friends on Facebook. We all keep in touch throughout the year. You know, but you go out there and you go out there to compete. Win, lose, or draw, you know, the Mexican teams, they always chant. Whether they win, whether they lose, whether they draw. They always chant, and they always, you know, chant for the opposing team.
And they do that first. And that's tradition in the Mexican culture. You give, you celebrate your opposing team first before you can celebrate on your own, for your own team.
Right. So yeah, and that was really cool of them, you know. They'd come over, they'd chant, they'd always take photos. Then that lasted, you know, tradition as is our tradition for the past 2 years. You know, they trade the players straight jerseys. So, you know, it was nice to see. It was nice to see, like you said, the sportsmanship from them and from us. I think our boys handled it well. You know, a couple of them, you know, they were pretty emotional, but you know, they bounced back from that. And you know, it's a lesson learned. You know, I've always said you know, when handling defeat is tough, right? But you got to be gracious in defeat. The flip side to that is that you also have to, you know, not only be gracious in victory, but you have to learn how to win. And that's what I kept harping on our players, you know, the whole trip. There's certain times where you have to learn how to win. You know, you have to fight through adversity. You have to, when you're down, tell yourself, I'm going to do what needs to be done to get that lead, you know, or to maintain that lead. Just because you have a lead doesn't mean you can take your foot off the gas.
Right.
Especially when you have a lead by, you know, one touchdown, you know, one score or whatever. But, yeah, so it was a learning experience for everyone involved, myself included. You know, there was, as a head coach, there were some, you know, of course, looking back, right, hindsight's always 20/20. There were some things I would have done differently for sure. You know, but I'll take those learning moments, and you know, I'll be better for it. Whether it be coaching the Barracudas or whether, you know, I get invited again to coach the Falcons in the future.
I don't think you'll get invited again.
Yeah, yeah. They already said no. They called me. Who? They. Yeah. So, and you know,
marshal,
the field marshal called and said no, you're not welcome back. But no, you know, it was a good learning experience. You know, I can't say enough about my coaching staff. You know, offensive coordinator Xavier Cobb, I thought he did a fantastic job. Just called great games. Defensive coordinator Jason Wall, all the way from Abu Dhabi. Again, you know, set up the defense, set them up to win. You know, and I learn a little bit from every coach whenever I've coached for the Falcons. And it's, you know, going all the way back to a couple of years ago when we traveled to China. You're right. What was I then? Yeah, I was a coordinator, like special teams or something.
Special teams.
You know, but I'd kind of be hanging out with all the other guys, trying to be cool, trying to hang out with a defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. And I always learn things from these guys. And this trip was no different, right? You know, I've been learning stuff from Xavier because we've been coaching in the league. But you know, I learned some stuff from Jason Wall as well. You know, not only, you know, techniques and setups, but you know, coaching philosophy. Right. Then we had Jeff Hensley, who was our special teams coordinator, and same there. You know, we after actually pretty much every night, you know, all the coaches, we'd all get together for dinner there at the resort, and you know, you start talking philosophy, and you know, you gain some insight as to you know, how they think, and you know, a lot of times these guys, you know, have a different view,
right?
And it's good to see it from a different perspective, right? It's like, well, what would you do in this situation? Well, they would do this, and I'm like, I never considered that,
Right.
but it makes sense. So no, I mean, just those guys they were fantastic. They were there at every practice. They helped keep track of all these knuckleheads.
Oh yeah, hands down.
So
Great staff.
So yeah, fantastic staff. Big ups to those guys for sure. And then we had players from all over. So same thing. Big shout out to guys from the Scorpions. Jason Wallace, the Scorpions coach. We had players from the Wildcats. We had 2 from the Foxes. The Stallions, Vipers. I mean, we just, and obviously, of course, the Barracudas. So it was good to see that they all came together, formed that bond, and now we're back. Now we're ready to play the regular season. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I consider it a success anyways. The U15s, they went.
Definitely.
They finished 3-3, and they finished 3rd out of 5, so right in the middle. We finished 2nd out of 3, right in the middle. Considering we didn't win any games last year,
right?
It's a big step up. I'd like to name individual players, but just everyone. I can't do it. Everyone at the U15 level, everyone was pulling their weight. Everybody was going in there, playing hard. Definitely at the U13 level as well. They were going in there. They were listening to their coaches, implementing the game plan, running our offense.
Right. And that's what an all-star team is all about, right?
Yep.
You don't have one superstar. You have a well-rounded team. At any given moment, you can call in a player off the bench, and he's going to perform just as well. So it's hard to, to highlight one or 2 players.
Yeah, well, all the players are, like you said, they're interchangeable. And I know on offense, purposely, my goal was to put each player in a minimum of 3 positions. So if you take someone like, let's go with the Barracuda. So Jason Cobb, he could play running back, he could play quarterback, he could play receiver. So those are his 3 positions out on the football field on offense. So a lot of these players, Isaiah could play, fullback, quarterback, and lineman on offense. And this is just on offense. Same thing on defense. We had guys that could play, linebacker, defensive end, or line. Guys like Ethan Wall, right? We had him at defensive end. We could put him at corner. We could put him as interior lineman. So my goal was to give everyone these reps at different positions. That way, we could interchange them, during the game. And of course, they have their natural position, right, or the position they want to play,
right,
or they think they want to play or whatever. But overall, no, they did well, and we did. We ended up moving a whole bunch of guys around. We had a couple injuries here and there. Our QB Spencer went down for the second day of games. He had a not an ACL, it's the other one.
MCL?
Yeah. It wasn't the ACL, it was the other one, whatever. So he strained it.
One of the CLs.
Right. So he was out, so we put Jason back there, we put Jack back there, and we put Isaiah back there as well. So yeah, just having, like you said, it's an all-star team. We have the weapons, everybody, anyone could go in there and, play a lot of these positions. So it really worked out. Same thing I noticed at the U15 level.
Right.
I mean, these guys, they took it a step further. Coach Patrick took it a step further where he was having his players, out on the field audible on defense. Right. So depending on what they saw on the field and what they thought, he was giving them the opportunity to. And I was like, "Yo, dude."
Was this Joaquin Campos?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had Joaquin, as his defensive captain. He was. He's
on it.
Yeah, he was on it. He was calling it great. He knew when to shift and when to change from one defensive package to another. And overall, I think he did a great job of that. So yeah, they took it a step further up in the U15s. But again, I think that's just a progression of, where the Falcons program is going.
Right.
We had just fantastic players. We were more organized. We knew what to expect. We knew the level of play. So we went in there and we were more successful than we were in the past. So big ups to all the Barracudas that made the trip and all the Barracudas coaches.
It was nice to see a few kids wearing their Barracuda blue.
Right.
While
on
on the trip.
Yeah, they're because we all took the helmets, right?
Yeah.
The normal team helmets.
Right.
So yeah, it was cool. It was cool seeing all the Barracudas out there, and it was seeing it was just a great experience. It was a lot of work. I was tired on the way back. I was ready to.
Exhausting, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's just being on all the time.
And you know that it was just a physically, mentally exhausting week. When on the way back, the airplane ride is quiet.
Right. Everybody was asleep.
Right. So.
Yep. And we had the whole back section. It was there. Everybody was quiet. Man, I was like huffing and puffing as I'm walking around. I'm like, dang. It's the, what do they call it here? The Dubai Stone.
Yeah.
I think it's plural for me. I think
stones.
it's Dubai Stones. Mm-hmm. I think I got a couple of them the last 5 years. So I definitely got to do something about that.
And had nothing to do with Chick-fil-A, right?
No.
6 sandwiches. I recall someone ordering 6 sandwiches.
Chick-fil-A is good.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A is delicious.
You ordered a backup to your backup sandwich.
That's it. I did indeed. But but for real, I was like, yo, what's up with all this walking? I was like, carrying all this extra weight. So if anyone has any weight loss tips, please just keep them to yourself because I probably won't listen.
I was going to say, just don't open your mouth.
Yep. Just keep them to yourself because I won't listen. But yeah, so it was exhausting. Like I said, physically, mentally, and just keeping track of all these kids. Right? I was like, yo, I said be here at such and such time.
We had a good group of kids.
Yeah, we did.
They're fun. Both levels, U13, U15, and you go out to, on your rest day, which I believe was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday we had
when do we have the clinic?
Wednesday.
Okay, so it was Tuesday then. Yeah.
So Tuesday was a free day, and we explored Universal Studios.
Yeah, it was Universal.
Because we left Disney World and Epcot for the last day.
When did we do Animal Kingdom?
Okay,
it was Animal Kingdom.
That's what we did. Animal Kingdom. Oh my goodness, I was exhausted after that day too.
I know. That's a lot.
But our
of walking.
kids weren't. They were ready to get on all the rides and have some Mickey Mouse ice cream.
Youth. It's like they say, youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
So anyways, so that was it for the Falcons. We did all right. We lost a heartbreaker, but a lot of our Barracudas, they were putting in that work. It's a good experience. They were able to stay active for those extra 8 days, plus the additional practices that we had in there. So hopefully that pays off. Our guys come back and that translates to play with their normal Barracudas teams. While we were gone, though, there was also a couple more games, right?
I believe the men's played.
The men's and the
Pee-wees. Did the Pee-wees play? I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
That's the homework I didn't do, but I know the men's did have a game against the Stallions.
Did the Pee-wees play or was it the varsity? Oh, no, it would have been
Well, varsity would be without a coach, which is Patrick.
That's right.
So Pee-wees played.
That's right. Yeah, that was that week we were gone, so I don't remember. Look, just tell a joke, Gracie, and I'll look it up.
Well, I can't. I'm not good at telling jokes. You put me on the spot, but I can talk about the Universal Studios.
There you go.
Hollywood. What is it? The Tower of Terror?
The Tower of Terror.
Oh, my goodness.
The Tower of Terror.
This is the second time we go to Hollywood. Is it Hollywood Studios or Universal Studios?
Universal Studios. I think it was Universal Studios.
Okay, you're probably wrong then. It's probably the other one. I this year I knew what to expect. waiting in line.
Right.
The anticipation builds up. My palms were sweaty. Some of the kids had never been, so I'm trying to, sugarcoat it, I guess. Just say, it's a fun ride.
Right.
You have to get on it to experience it. But it doesn't disappoint. It was thrilling. It was exciting. And we had the entire U13 team in one elevator. So we were able to share that experience together. So it was a lot of fun. And
I'll tell you what, that's no joke.
Isn't it the most awesome
that is
feeling, physical
joke.
Feeling?
No joke.
The free fall. And if you go, for those of you who have never been out there, go at night.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Definitely go.
You can get the greatest views of the entire city if you keep your eyes open during the ride. I close my eyes every now and then, but yeah,
keep your eyes open.
It was exciting. It was fun, and it was a great team bonding. All of the parks, right?
All of the
team
parks,
bonding is
all of the roller coasters,
yes.
all of that. That.
That one's a good one too. The Aerosmith one, the rock and roll roller coaster.
Yep.
I had forgotten what that one was like, and I asked if it did loops, and someone said, "Oh no, it doesn't," but it does.
It's nothing but loops.
Yeah,
it's nothing but loops.
It was great. We had turkey legs.
I didn't, but
it was pretty good. You missed out.
I did. I did. Let me. Dustin, you need to clean up your. Okay, here we go. So the men's. When were we gone? What dates were we gone?
So they played the, December
11th.
Yes.
Ooh, they tied.
Yeah, it was a tight game. I just didn't know the score. I knew it was tied.
6-6.
Okay.
Yep, that's right. But their QB was gone.
Xavier Cobb,
the men QB, he was over there screaming and grabbing Jeff Hensley's leg, the Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't him, but I'm going to say it was him.
Yeah.
And then the Pee-wees, so they would have played on the 11th as well, right?
Correct.
And they did not play.
So they haven't played? They've only had one game then.
Yeah, I think they've only had one game.
Okay.
And then Bantam and JV, obviously, we were gone. So, yep. So, all right. So that's that. So, yeah, it was a tie, but they were without their starting QB. Mm-hmm. The men were, because Xavier Cobb was over there, Tower of Terror, screaming and calling
eating turkey legs,
and calling the U13 offense. So I just closed out the website. Who do we have next? Schedule wise, here I'll
Vipers.
Well, the band. I'll open it back up.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Tell another joke.
Like I said, I'm not good at telling jokes because I always ruin the punchline. That's kind of my thing.
Knock knock. No, I don't know anything. There. Here, look. I'm gonna look.
So games start up again January 8th. Is that?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a few weeks off in celebration of Christmas, New Year's, and kids have time off from school. So practices won't start again until January 3rd.
Right.
And then games resume January 8th.
So January 8th, we have the Pee-wee Barracudas playing the Abu Dhabi Scorpions.
Okay.
At 4:30 p.m., 16:30.
Where?
The Sevens. So we're playing the
Sevens.
Sevens.
Oh, nice.
I like the Sevens. And then Bantam, we're playing. It shows us we're playing the 15th. It doesn't show us playing the 8th. Really? It shows us playing the Wildcats. This is at the EAFL.AE website.
Oh, okay.
So maybe there was some shuffling there. So we don't have. It shows we don't have a game, although I think we do. And then the JV play the Sand Vipers at 4 p.m. at the Sevens.
Oh, that should be a good one.
Yep. That should
The
be
Vipers are looking strong.
They are indeed. It's like they got a resurgence.
Yeah.
Who's their coach? Is it Plenkovic? Is it Adam?
Adam, I think so.
Is he JV or he varsity? Oh, they don't have a varsity, so he's JV because Edgar's Bantam. Yep. Then the varsity are playing on the 15th against Team Abu Dhabi.
That's the only team they can play against, right?
No, they can play the Stallions. They can play the Foxes.
Oh, the Foxes have a varsity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the men play on the 15th as well. At the Sevens against the Stallions. So we only have Pee-wees and JVs on the 8th.
Right. And Bantam is on question mark, right?
Right. I'm not sure. Well, I know this schedule is updated because it's showing Team Abu Dhabi versus it doesn't break them out anymore. So it's been updated to some extent. So yeah, we have the Cuda's Vipers at JV and then the Pee-wees Scorpions at Pee-wee.
Right.
So that's what the schedule shows as of today, which is the 29th of December. So I know at the Bantam level and at the JV level, they're pretty excited because those were the kids that we took, to Orlando. So they're definitely ready to come back and play. Everyone I talked to, they're pretty stoked to be back. So hopefully it'll be, like I said, hopefully that experience translates to gameplay on the Barracuda side. So that's what it's looking like in the next couple weeks.
Are you excited?
I am. Like I said, I'm still kind of, I'm still, my brain is kind of still sort of.
3 weeks later, you're still jet lagged.
Yes.
Longest jet lag ever.
Yeah, because I've been off the whole time. I went to work for like 3 days,
Right.
then I was off again. So it's been real nice. So I just
It's nice to take a nap during the day, right?
I'm gonna tell you, it's like being a toddler again. Like, oh, okay, I'm tired right now. I'm just gonna
Eat and sleep.
Go to sleep on the couch, mouth open, snoring. I don't care. Yeah, so no, I'm definitely excited, ready to get back onto the Barracuda field. So as we said earlier in the podcast, we've made some strides in the social media department of the CudaCast. I urge everyone to follow us on Instagram, even though it's only one picture.
For now.
So we are at the CudaCast, all one word. And then on Twitter, guess what? We are at the CudaCast, all one word on Twitter. And then if you go to YouTube, for those of you that don't have iTunes, if you go to YouTube and do a search for the CudaCast, you'll find our channel. Now, I can't get a custom channel made on YouTube just yet because I need like 100 subscribers or something. So right now, the channel is like youtube.com/XYFUWZ5. You know what I mean? Some funky. So just do a search for the CudaCast. And basically all it is on YouTube, all it is for people that don't have iTunes, all I've done is created a audio file of the CudaCast, converted to a movie file and just threw it up there. So, there's nothing fancy. Maybe in the future, we'll take some video of our how we do the podcast, and then maybe put some clips.
I think that if what we had planned last year was to travel and do CudaCast.
Right.
Not travel to different destinations, but go to, say for example, a restaurant and do a live CudaCast.
Correct.
And that's the type of CudaCast that can be streamed via YouTube.
Right.
Where you have audio and video.
The problem, and of course, you computer nerds, Michael Anderson will understand that, it takes a lot of bandwidth to do that, live streaming, and you need a 4G connection, yada, yada, yada. So we'll save all those details. So in the meantime, if you don't have iTunes and can't subscribe to our podcast, you can still listen to the podcast by going just straight to our YouTube channel, just listening to it there. Our email changed as well because of that. So I had to create a new email. So now we are thecudacast@gmail.com. So if you want to get a hold of us, questions, concerns, comments, gripes, whatever it may be, you can find
Compliments.
us. Compliments.
Yep.
You can find us at thecudacast@gmail. Again, all one word, thecudacast@gmail.com. So everything's been converted to that. So we're going to try and move forward with that. My apologies for having all these other emails. So I apologize to that one listener who remembers our email, or the two listeners.
Stop sending us.
Yes, hey, stop sending me spam. I do not want to buy penny stocks. I know you're not a Nigerian prince. We all know that. So that being said, that's where we're at. Again, our apologies for taking so long to knock out another one, but we're dealing with all the nerd issues
and jet lag. And you were napping.
And I was napping all the time.
We also have we've made some T-shirts.
Yeah.
A few lucky listeners will be the recipients of such T-shirts. They look amazing. They're awesome.
Of course,
right?
It's got your picture on it.
Yeah.
It's got your picture on it. The lovely Miss Gracie. So, of course, it looks fantastic. So, we're getting a few T-shirts made as well. We had our logo made and blah, 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 blah. Enough about us.
Let's hear about you.
So, email us at thecudacast@gmail.com. And, again, we look forward to just whatever. Any questions, gripes, comments, concerns. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Any correspondence. We'd be happy to address it.
Since just real quick, since we just finished watching Monday Night Football, how about that Denver Broncos, Cincinnati Bengals finish?
How about that Denver Broncos freaking kicker?
Oh, poor dude. Worst kick ever.
Yeah. But, man, talk about that ending.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, if you haven't seen it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry.
So it goes into overtime.
You're going to continue.
I'm going to continue. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, by the time you post this.
Yeah. No, I won't spoil it. I'll just let you know it goes into overtime. But that ending is kind of wild. I don't know. It's just the way it ends. It was a good game. It was an exciting game. I enjoyed it.
Your typical Denver Broncos comeback.
Yep.
More spoilers.
Spoiler alert. At least I didn't give out who won. So anyway, since you said who won, back to that kicker. So
I'm just biased. I love the Broncos and John Elway.
Yeah. He was there in the box.
Heartthrob.
He's old. How
I
old
know.
Is he?
I don't know, like 60. I don't know.
He's up there.
I used to watch him in the 80s. So
he's up there. But yeah. I don't know how old he is. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to say how old he is.
He still looks young.
Yeah. So that being said, man, this is a long one. We are at 47 minutes.
I'm drinking coffee. I can keep going.
You keep going? What's our limit? We've never established a limit for length of podcast. Huh. I don't know. Well, I don't have much else to say.
48 is the limit.
48 is the limit. Okay, bye. So
we've been up since 2 a.m.
We have
and
been.
It's 10:30 now, so that explains
some of the loopiness on the lovely Miss Gracie's part.
Yeah, second cup of coffee.
Yeah, I think I'll take a nap after this. Yep, that's what I'll do. Oh, I want to send out a huge shout out to the TSA for opening up all my equipment on the flight back and for stealing my wires. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yep.
So I came back without my microphone wires.
What did they need that for?
I don't know. But for those of you that have ever bought any XLR balanced cables for microphones, they're not. I mean, they're not going to break the bank, but they're not exactly cheap either. It's not like I can go to the store and just buy RCA jacks, right? Because we don't use those. We use balanced cables. So I was pretty upset about that this morning when I got all my equipment. And, they opened up my stuff, and then they just kind of threw it all in there. So, I had it all organized, the wires on one side, the interface box on the other. I know.
No,
then I opened it up, and I'm like, man, these dudes. So it's all good. Mm-hmm. It's all good. As long as we're safe without microphone cables, I guess. Whatever. So.
What a bummer.
So if anyone wants to donate any microphone cables,
email us at
thecudacast@gmail.com. So, all right. So I think we're done for this podcast. and we're looking forward to
just in case you didn't notice, it was a Falcons special edition Cuda cast.
It was supposed to be last year. I think we did a Falcons cast. The thing is, I'm like, this is the Cuda cast, and this is my podcast. So if anyone on the Falcons wants to listen to Falcons talk, they can listen to it on the Cuda cast.
Right.
Because I do what I want. No one tells me what to do. Except the lovely Miss Gracie. Sometimes only.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. So, we'll knock another one out when we return to. So it's going to be a couple weeks because we don't. The next game isn't
January 8th is the next.
January 8th, yeah. So we'll put another one out then. Until then, we're going to work on getting some swag made up, and we'll start.
If you're interested in some of these T-shirts,
hit us up.
Either let us know on Twitter
at the CudaCast, or else,
or email or Facebook. Just say, hey, I want a T-shirt. What can I do to get that T-shirt?
Or Instagram at the CudaCast, or through email.
Yeah, no excuses.
The CudaCast at gmail.com.
Yeah, I see a pattern.
That's right. So, Barracuda family, until next time.
We will see you soon.
Bye. Okay, that was a pretend.
That was fake, right?
That was fake.
That was a practice one.
All right, Barracuda family, until next time. Goodbye.
Go Cudas.
Music by Audionautics.com.